Okay, right. So these are the fitting instructions for the Ducato boxing relay double swivel seat. Now, I'll just show you something. It says double swivel seat, but in fact, that part there is part of this suite, so it is a double seat. But I hate those birds. Anyway, the first thing it says to look at is these two bolts securing the seat to the floor. Save the two front ones for the step. Okay, lift the seat and move it into the back of the vehicle. I'm going to kill that silly bloody crow. It's not a crow, is it? Cockerel. And that's the fitting instruction. So it's a piece of A4 with a bit on the back. All right, let's have a look. All right, so there's one there and one here. So we're going to have to remove the toolbox, which is quite straightforward. Like so. Right, and then quite easy to take the seat out, I've got to admit. So undo that bolt there and that one there. Okay, I'm using an 18mm. That's any good to anybody if you want to know that bit. So, and it's undone it nicely, so I'm just going to grab this and pull the seat out. Okay, both bolts are out. That means the seat's loose, it's just sitting there. And at the back, if you notice, you've got the connection for, usually this is for the seat belt, but it's not connected to anything. So I'm just going to disconnect that now and just drop it down out the way. Okay, that's it, out the way. Right, let's see how this swivel fits. And we've got a piece of piece of hardboard there, and that's your template to cut the floor away. Remove this. This is your, just turn these knobs the way it points in the arrows. Shows you this one's that, and then what's that? Oh, come on. I think this is your fuel tank housing. There we go. Put him out the way. Yeah, definitely. There you go. So you could use this if you wanted to. I think it's your fuel tank housing. Gets to your fuel tank and your sensor unit. And you could use that if you want to put your diesel pump, your diesel heater straight into your fuel tank. Well, that looks like the only way it can fit if you line the holes up where the originals are. There's two extras there, and then the ones at the back. I don't need to cut out that bit because it's already cut out. So you've got to mark all this all the way around and then cut out the rubber mat. But first of all, I believe I have to remove this piece, which is the toolbox holder. And I think they're 10mm. Undo the two bolts, remove your bracket. That's that done. Okay, so really what you're doing, you're just going to cut, well, just round there and down, which is virtually already done for you actually. So if I remove that, if you look at this, the only major place to cut it is actually here. I mean, you know, you could probably just go there and nip it through there. Sorry, round there, down here. So if you look at the template, if you look at that now, and then if I put the template on, we line it up with the two existing holes. So one there, one there. So you're looking, just follow this down, like so. Yeah. Down here. So follow that down till you reach this part. And that one's already split, look here. That's already sort of hanging off. And then take this off across there. And that should be it. Let's have a go at that. Okay, so I'm just going to follow the line with a nice knife and just go straight down here. Okay, so as you're cutting, be careful because there is wires. So just be warned, alright? So this is that one. So you just want to try and keep this, just nick the surface first, if you're not too sure. Alright, let's put this out of the way for now. So you see what I mean about the wires? Just be careful so you don't, I've been told as well, you might have to just nick this back a little bit lower for the actual seat to fit. We'll trim this off, we'll make this look tidy, trim that off. I might even trim that off, to be honest with you. Just a nice bit of someone said some, I'll clean that off. give this a bit of a clean. That'll come out as well, I believe, because that's the support bracket for the toolbox. We don't need that there because that is now obsolete. You're going to have to find somewhere to put your tools. 2 bolts holding that one in. There's one underneath there as well. So using the knife, you can see I've just trimmed it down a bit. I'm going to see if it fits. Just be careful not to tip any of the wires. Bit of a clean. I'm not too sure how the seat fits, so I'm going to try that first. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention using a star tool, undo the 2 back ones as well. They've got to come out. I forgot all about that. I was thinking, what am I doing wrong? Anyway, so there you go. Undo these 2, take them out as well. PS, keep the front ones because you've got to use them again. Take that stop out as well. Right, we're going to see if it fits now. Trimmed all this back. Right down low, like I said, be careful of the cables, trim that back. We should be good to go. Okay, so first thing we must do, we must cut a bit more back. At least another ½ an inch, going all the way down here and back here as well. Remember the cable. So a bit more off the template's good, but it's not perfectly accurate. Okay, so I had to cut a bit more away, as you can see. I haven't lined it up yet. Now, someone took all those apart to get to the bolts. I don't think you have to. I think all you do is undo your 4 securing ones and your main one, and then the unit should slide enough to reveal your bolt holes. I don't think we're far off. Let me just line that up now. We've got this right, which is down, but it's got to go back further. It's got to come back a bit further. I mean, once it's in position, these won't rub or anything because it's fixed. So I've got to take this with a knife, a bit more careful, right back here. There should be no reason to remove the whole swivel from the base. Just twist it and then the holes line up perfect. We'll get the bolts in, one's front and back, and then we'll get the seat remounted. Okay, so I'm tightening the 2 front ones down, 20mm socket. Right. Okay, so also it comes with 4 spare washers. I just found out what they're for. Well, it did say you might need them, you might not. I didn't think we did, but you do. And you put them down on top first. This to raise this up slightly, so you've got more clearance on the mat. So that's why you need the extra 4. So put 2 under each on the front. Okay, they take the bolts from the front, which you took out originally, and put them in the back, which I'm just going to tighten up now. Okay, there is no need to take that plate off whatsoever. That plate can stay on. All right. Okay, all tightened down. 18mm on the back, 20mm on the front. Let me just double check that for you. 20mm on the front, 10mm little ones at the back as well. Right, let's see if we can mount this seat on there now. Before we do, just to confirm, when you want to undo these, you just turn them, pull them, and then line them all up. It's not hard, just fiddle about a bit. These are locking pins. These will go in once the seat is secure, or when you buy the plate, they've already got these pins in. Pull these pins out, and that one there as well, that main one. Pull all these pins out, then all these just lift up out the way. Okay, a little bit fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, it's fine. All right. Now I've got to undo these. I'm not too sure whether the washers go on top or underneath. I presume. I don't know. I'll let you know. Now when reseating the seat, I believe these bolts here, which are quite big, don't actually fit in that seat properly. You have to drill extra, but that looks pretty good to me. So we're going to take a look. So this part here might need grooving out, but I think this has been allowed. I don't know if it's been allowed for. Because this is a 2016 model I'm doing this on. Let's give it a go, hey? Okay, so we have a slight problem. That's slightly out of alignment. So the easiest way to do it is to take the seat off. That one's perfect. It looks like they fit on the back fine, but it looks like that one we might have to do a little bit of grinding just on the V and take a little bit out so this seat goes back a little bit further. Can't be helped. And whether to do both or not, well, that one fits fine, so there's no need to do that. They do say reckon that it raises the seat up by 5 centimeters, and it probably does. Looks like it does anyway. Now these aren't sitting flush because they've got little pegs at the side they sit on. See that? So yeah, I'm going to get the grinder out and just quickly clean that V out. All right, so it's got a bit more. We need to come back a little bit further. otherwise it's not going to sit. We're not going to get that bolting without cross threading, and I'm not doing that. Okay, final bit is putting the bolt and washers in. At the back here you'll need an extension socket. You might need some gloves, to be honest with you. Got a few little scrapes, nothing too bad, but the welds on the seat are a little bit spiky, should I say. So I'll tighten this down and then have a go at swiveling it. I had to grind that a little bit more. That one there, just in a bit more of a V in it. And you can use a good file, will do it. That's it. Right, so then to swivel, I'm going to have to put this on a stand. Each one of these has got to come up. Someone said it's a bit fiddly. Okay, so each one's got to come up. We'll do that and see if it works. I've also looked at one video and he says it doesn't go very well with the headrest. So we're going to drop them down. We might have to take one out. To take them out, you just hold the pin in and pull it out. All right, let's see what happens. Okay, one thing that wasn't mentioned in some of the videos that I did watch, that these clips, they come up, and when the underneath here is like a star shape, or same shape as that. Okay, so what these do, these come up, slightly turn, then they lock into position. Otherwise, it's a bloody nightmare. I was just thinking, why is it? Because each one, and I'm thinking, you daft bugger, you need to put them in lock position. So they come up, they sit into the cradle, they lock into position, doesn't matter which way around, left or right. Even the big one up there locks into position, and in this thing swings around like, otherwise you're struggling. Right, let's have a go at, I can't even put you anywhere really. On the plate, of course, you've got an off skew one, which is there, and I think there's one on the other side. And that locks into that position, and then you can, oh, it's quite comfortable actually. I'll show you that. A little bit forward, you know, as in facing, but it does do the job, but a little bit skew width, I think. So there we go. Yeah, not the easiest, I would say, not the best, but if you want a double swivel, and it's a cheap one off eBay, I think that's the best you're going to get for that sort of price. I'll leave a link in the description down below where I got it from. Pretty straightforward, common sense. Make sure all the 5 pins are out and in the secure position. Put the 2 washers at the front to bring the seat high. I mean, if you want it, I don't know if you could put washers at the back there to bring the seat in a more level position anyway. So there we go, it's in place. I'm going to turn it back now and lock it into the normal position, and that should be pretty straightforward just by undoing that. If I can put you on hold, I'll do it now. Okay, out. You have to whittle the seat a little bit right up and lock him so he sits properly. I don't know which way around to turn now. I think I'll just go this way. Right, where were we? I think we were up. They've got to come up all the way, and then they have to. Oh, that one's a tight one. Oh, make sure you take the pin out. I forgot about that. Right, pins out. Right, all the way up, and they've got to. When they're up, you've got to lock them. So there, see that one come up all the way? Just turn it slightly. All the way, turn it so it locks into that lock position. Lock position, pin out, lock position, and then the big one as well, pin out, like so. That's got to come all the way up. It might be easier to do it the other side actually. All the way in the lock position, and then it should go either way. It said swivel. So Once you got the hang of it, it's not hard. And that's it. And then this centre one here, this lines up with the one you've got like that. Push him in, a little bit of playing, and then lock him into position, and we're done. That's it. And then to reverse, this is the most essential bit. Make sure all the pins are in the lock position, out I mean, and turn. And that's it, turn it back. I haven't tried going this way with it. It's a bit tighter that way. Oh, there we go. A little bit tight, but well, there you go. Pushing forward. Line him up, put the pins back in. That's about it really. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me just grab you. Please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. And we'll catch you in the next one. All the best.